Welcome back, guys, to Sports Talk Live. This is episode 8. I actually went in and figured out what episode number it is because the last couple times I said welcome back and I had no clue which episode we were on. Jacob, how are you doing? Jacob? Oh, Jacob can't hear me. I guess it is only me. So I'm going to keep going. Can you hear me now, Jacob? Oh, man. So it's been a crazy week in sports. I can't hear you, Jacob, but we'll just hop right into it, right? So we got a lot of things going on in the sports world right now. We got the Giants potentially maybe doing well. Playoff baseball, it's getting down to it. We have some crazy things going on in the NFL. Season's getting into full swing since they are on week 2. And then in the NBA, we're in the middle of our playoffs, right? We got our final.
Now, Coach.
Ooh, now I hear Jacob.
Let's go. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being patient with me.
I was just kind of going over real quick what's going on in the sports world. We have baseball season coming to an end, the playoffs coming up, football starting to get into full swing. We are entering week 3, and in the NBA, we only have 4 teams left, right? So where do you want to start? Baseball, football, basketball?
Let's jump right into some baseball. I see you got your Giants hat on. You ready to talk some baseball?
Yeah, so baseball, this is the final weekend of the regular season, right? So it's coming down to it. I have the standings up here, so I'm looking at them. So in the American League, 7 of the 8 playoff spots are locked in. They're done. The last playoff spot is between the Toronto.
Can you let us know? Can you let us know who has which seeds?
Yes, so they changed the playoff seeding this year. So it's the top 2 teams from each division, along with 2 wildcard teams. So in the AL East, we have the Tampa Bay Rays and the New York Yankees taking the top 2. The Rays having the best record in the American League. For the AL Central, we have the Minnesota Twins and Chicago White Sox, 2 young teams that, they really came on last year and they kept up their momentum this year. And in the West, we had the Oakland A's take the division, win it all, with the Houston Astros right behind them. The first wildcard spot that's already been locked in is the Cleveland Indians. They are pretty solid, so that is a 3rd team from the Central. And for that last spot, it's between the Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Angels right now. It's probably going to be the Blue Jays. They have a 4-game lead. I think they literally have to lose every game they play, and the Angels have to win everything to make it. So odds are the Blue Jays will be the 8th team. AL is pretty boring in that sense. But then if we look at the National League team, we still have like 12 teams that could potentially make the playoffs. So we have in the National League West, we have the Dodgers and the Padres already locked in as number 1 and number 2 in that division. In our National League Central, we have the Cubs and the Cardinals locked in, with the Braves and the Miami Marlins locked in the East. I say the Miami Marlins weirdly because a lot of people expected them to be the worst team in baseball this year. And here they are going into the last weekend of the year locked into the playoffs. Ooh, actually, I take that back. So the Phillies are 1 game behind the Marlins, so they still could potentially take that last spot. So right now, and then in the 2 wildcard spots, we currently have the Cincinnati Reds and the San Francisco Giants. I got my Giants hat right now. They're the last team in. But we still have the Phillies, the Brewers, the Mets, and the Rockies all hanging on by a thread. They all could potentially win it. The Giants actually have a doubleheader today, and they start their first game at 4 o'clock. So they're playing against San Diego Padres. It's going to be some intense games. They are must-win games for the Giants. Giants win 2 games this weekend. I'm feeling good. 2 games. 3 would be great. 2, I think they make the playoffs, though. So we'll see.
You're hopeful.
I'm hopeful. It's a doubleheader today. We're playing the Padres. The Padres are a good baseball team, man. Especially this year. If you get the nickname instead of San Diego, their nickname right now is the Slam Diego Padres.
Yep.
If you're getting a nickname like that, you got to be hitting a serious amount of home runs. So the Padres have been a fun team to watch, but I'm hopeful my Giants can pull it out. I'm hopeful. I know I just threw a lot of baseball at you, but what do you think of it?
I don't want to express my main point of view on that subject because you already know my team won the division. We're good. We're going straight in. We don't need to rely on these next two games. We're kicking back right now. You know, so you got a little bit of work to do. Fingers crossed for on your side. For your sake. If they don't make it, I won't be mad.
Yeah, no, it's an even year. The even year magic still has to be a thing, I hope. I mean, for those of you that are newer baseball fans and don't know what the even year magic is, the Giants won the World Series in 2010, 2012, and 2014. It was just the even year magic. No one could explain it. They win the World Series, miss the playoffs. Win the World Series, miss the playoffs. Like it, it's the even year magic. I don't know. I'm hoping they can pull it out. It'll be exciting. I mean, we're getting our best player back in Mike Yastrzemski today. He had a calf injury and missed a couple games. We're also getting Jeff Samardzija, who's a veteran pitcher, been around a long time. He's missed most of the year. He's coming back today. Apparently, he's pumping 95-mile-per-hour heaters. So if he's throwing the ball that hard, that could be great news for the Giants getting one of our better pitchers back at full strength.
Yeah, I'm sure you're looking real forward to that one.
I'm excited, man. As soon as this is over, I'm going to go start watching the first game of the doubleheader. A lot of baseball to watch tonight for me.
Yeah, for me, we're going to be watching a little bit of basketball. We got the Eastern Conference going at it today. As you guys know, Miami Heat, they are bringing the heat. That is for sure. Right? They are. Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero. Hero is playing like a hero right now. Let's say that. Hero is our hero. And I am more than happy to see Miami advance to the finals. I wouldn't be against Boston either. I told you that Boston, I think I mentioned this in the previous episode, that Boston was kind of like my East Coast team, because that was the very first Eastern team that I actually got to go to a basketball game and watch in their home stadium. So that was really cool. But I've always liked Miami prior and post LeBron era. So I wouldn't mind seeing Jimmy Buckets take it to it looks like it's going to be the Lakers. The Lakers are up 3-1. They won last night. It was a good game. I'm hoping the Lakers I'm hoping the Nuggets bring it to the Lakers these next couple games.
Haven't the Nuggets just come back from being down 3-1 twice?
Yeah. But they weren't. This is the Lakers we're talking about.
I'm just saying.
They're a stacked team. We all know how dangerous the Lakers can be.
Did you see Jamal Murray? He made one of the most insane layups I've ever seen in my life last night.
Yeah.
Went up against LeBron, pulled a full on MJ, dropped the ball down, put it up on the other side of the rim. Like, you see LeBron's face as he's flying, like, no way he just did that.
Yeah. As when he landed, he was like, his eyes are kind of like, what? Did he make that?
That didn't happen to me.
Oh, yeah, but he's quite an athlete. He's shown it. He's had some huge games in these playoffs. They were down 3-1 to the Clippers, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to the Clippers. And there was last night they showed a clip of Jamal Murray saying how a lot of the team members were already packing their bags and folding their clothes. And he said, like, no, we're not done here. We got work to do.
Yeah.
Talk about being resilient. Talk about, having some confidence in yourself there, because he literally put the team on his back those next games.
Well, I mean, you can't leave out him and Jokic. But yes.
But Murray was putting up 40, 50 points every game.
Yeah. Well, you have to look at the one game where the Nuggets did beat the Lakers. Who was their superstar in the one game they won? It was the Joker, Jokic. I mean, the game they won, I believe it was game 3. He was just an unstoppable force. I think he was close to a triple-double or just shy there, somewhere around. But he had a dominant game. I mean, if we know what Jamal Murray's going to do, if the Nuggets are going to win, they're going to need to see Jokic almost be a triple-double type player. They need to see him getting the boards, passing the ball, and making their shots, right? I think he's really I think we know what Jamal Murray's going to do. Murray's going to go off, but he needs someone with him.
Oh, of course, and that's anybody. But I find it really hard to say that he did not put that team on his back, no matter what. No matter what, we all know that Jokic is a good player, but without Murray, they would not have won those games.
Oh, for sure. No, yeah, so you can't take what Murray's done, for sure.
The Lakers are 1 win away. Can they do it? they looked like they were gonna get a little beat up yesterday with injuries.
I mean, we saw Anthony
You
Davis
know, we
twist
saw
up.
Anthony. Yeah, he landed hard.
Yeah,
He rolled. You know, he came back up. He persevered and finished off the game, but he just didn't look right. So
yeah.
I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see how it's gonna come out tomorrow. You know, they play tomorrow. Is his ankle going to be better? Hopefully for Laker fans, it wasn't anything serious, but he landed hard on there and he rolled on the ground, you know,
He's a big.
and a 7-footer landing on his ankle like that usually doesn't turn out too well. But running up the court, he was kind of hobbling up there. But again, he persevered through it. He still managed to, on a busted ankle, be able to put up a ball and get it into the basket and get that rebound. So, it's even hurt. He's still effective.
It'll definitely be something to monitor though as the series goes on because
Yeah.
I mean, when you're as tall as Anthony Davis and as strong as him and as talented as he is, I mean, yeah, he's still going to be able to be like impactful in his like injury with his injury. But it'll be interesting because it'll affect his like not durability, but like how much he plays in the game.
Yeah.
Like if he's hurt, he probably can only give you 20 minutes max, and you might need more than that out of him to take down the Nuggets.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see, if they win, and he still is a little bit hurt, if it's gonna carry on going towards the finals. So that is where it's ultimately gonna be, have the most impact for them if they make it. If they make it. So we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be a wild ride the next couple of days. Are the Heat gonna advance tonight, or are the Celtics gonna keep them at bay? I'm just for basketball's sake, because I'm having fun with this. I want the Celtics to win, just so we can see more basketball. You know what I mean? I'm going for the Celtics tonight. I want to see a great series, but I do want the Heat to take the series. But I'm rooting for the Celtics tonight.
The real question is regardless if the Lakers, probably the Lakers or Nuggets win, can the Heat or Celtics really compete with either of those teams in the finals?
Oh yeah, I think so.
You think so? You think they're on the same level as the Nuggets and the Lakers?
I think so.
We've seen where the West.
I think it's clearly obvious. It's clearly stated that in this year's bubble playoffs, anything can happen. I am curious to see who made a bracket with the top or the final four teams being Celtics, Heat, Nuggets, Lakers. Nobody did, unless you're.
Where's the Clippers at? That's what everyone was probably saying.
Yeah, the only people who voted Nuggets in the finals were Nuggets fans. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's true.
I get you.
It's true. Who would have thought? That's all I'm saying is who would have thought that these teams. Yeah, I'm just saying, who would have thought that these teams would be there right now? So anything can happen. And, even though the Nuggets are down, they've been playing good games. It hasn't like it's been complete blowouts every time or anything like that. They've been making it competitive. You know what I mean? So I do have some faith in them. I do. But it's not looking too good. It's not looking good. But hopefully they're not folding up their clothes just like last time.
I mean, I read something where how like the last two times they went down 3-1, they didn't practice before the next game. So because of that, they canceled practice before the next game. Because, I mean, hey, if it doesn't work, why are you going to change it, right? We went down 3-1 twice, canceled practice.
Oh, they canceled today's practice, basically.
Yeah, they canceled today's practice before the game. It's interesting, though, but, I mean, sports are all about superstitions. And that, I mean, sometimes it's just a mental thing, right? You got to have your confidence there. If your confidence isn't there, it's going to be so much harder. So if those little things are going to help you have your confidence, I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting series. I'm really hoping that Jimmy Buckets has a great game. Yeah, I want to see just a back and forth type of a battle between the Celtics and the Heat.
Okay. What's that?
Again, what's that?
What's that series at right now? I don't know.
3-1 Heat.
3-1. Okay, I didn't know if it was 3-1 or 2-1.
3-1 Heat. So I'm hoping again that the Celtics actually make this a series. Same for the Nuggets. I don't.
You want those intense games. I get it.
Yeah, I want those intense games. That's what keeps me on the edge of my seat. Like, I'm biting my nails and I'm like, oh my God, who's gonna win? And then I'm jumping up and down because Jamal Murray did some crazy layup. You know what I mean? Like, some I want to have that kind of excitement again in my life, and I need it with this playoff bubble. So,
I'm hoping to get that excitement from the MLB playoffs coming up. But right now, what's filling that excitement for me is some NFL football.
oh yeah,
Let's
you're
talk about
excited, and I'm not.
prime time Monday night football game where the Raiders worked the Saints. It wasn't even close. Honestly,
They did.
I will admit, for the first like 10 minutes of that game, I was ready to turn it off. The Raiders
The
looked
first quarter
so
did not look good. The first quarter, I was like,
bad. Dude, it was so bad. Like I
mm.
even tweeted at one point, I was like, bro, at this pace, I'm not even gonna be able to finish the game. It was miserable. There was just a dumb turnover. The Saints were just driving against the Raiders defense, making them look like they weren't even there. And then I don't know what happened. The Raiders flipped the switch and just looked like a completely different team all of a sudden, to the
Yeah,
point where the Saints couldn't stop them. Like the Saints knew they were throwing to Waller and running the ball with Jacobs. That's all they did. Like if you really think about it, the Raiders threw to Waller and ran the ball with Jacobs.
yeah.
That was probably 75% of their game plan, and the Saints just couldn't stop it. And I mean, the
Their
Saints,
defense is not what it used to be.
but they're still pretty good. Like they're a league average defense. I wouldn't say they're worse than average or better than average, but they're a solid defense. I mean, you may sit differently on that because you're in the division and all that jazz, but
No,
I
they've
mean,
always been a solid team. They've always been a
yeah.
solid team.
So I mean, I think that was really like in a sense a coming out game for the Raiders because like when the Raiders beat the Panthers, like the Panthers weren't supposed to be really that good. No offense to your Panthers, but it was a close game, so a lot of people were doubting the Raiders, and I think the Raiders beating the Saints like they did really put a lot of people's attention and eyes on it, especially with it being a prime time game.
I just seen something came across my feed today.
Mm.
Carolina Panthers have been given the highest percentage to win the number one pick. We're only 2 games in. Come on, guys, give me a break. Give us a chance. Give us a chance.
I mean, the Panthers. It's not looking great for the Panthers, especially with McCaffrey going out. I mean, I didn't like their odds with McCaffrey and losing.
No, you can't doubt anybody. Think about who was it last year? Was it last year? Was it the Titans? They lost like 5 or 6 games, their first 5 or 6
Yeah,
games.
but the Titans had Ryan Tannehill on their bench.
It's not the point. The
You
point
guys
is
got a
they
quarterback,
lost 5 to 6 games in a row, turned it around,
but you
made the
don't have.
playoffs, and they made a little push. They made a little push.
But you guys don't have. Yeah, I love the Titans. Honestly, I'm a huge. I want to see the Titans do good. Like I was pushing for them in the playoffs. Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith. I like the Titans. Ryan Tannehill. I mean, Ryan Tannehill is one of those guys who, dude, think back to that Miami team. Think how stacked they were. Kenyon Drake going off on the Cardinals. Ryan Tannehill going off for the Titans. Jarvis Landry going off for the Browns. Like, dude, I honestly, this brings me to a point of like the Jets head coach right now is Adam Gase. Adam Gase had an offense with Ryan Tannehill, Kenyon Drake, Jarvis Landry, and Devontae Parker, and couldn't do anything. Think about that, dude. Ryan Tannehill left. He's like literally leading the Titans. Kenyon Drake, he hasn't done much this year, but he was insane for the Cardinals last year. And then Jarvis Landry outplayed OBJ on the Browns last year. And Adam Gase couldn't do anything with that. Like, now we see him in New York. Le'Veon Bell, of course, is hurt, and like their top two receivers is hurt. That doesn't help them. But even when they were all healthy, that Jets offense isn't good. But they have playmakers. I don't know. It blows my mind that Adam Gase has.
Random fun fact: Brian does not like Adam Gase.
I'm not a fan.
So um, there's a lot of football this week. I am excited for the possibility of Carolina finally getting their first win against the Chargers. We have the Chargers. So coming up, we have Houston against Pittsburgh. Who do you think's going to take that one? Make your pick. We're going to do a league pick 'em for the next games right here. All right, Brian? Let's see who
Wait,
comes out with a better score next week. All
let
right,
me
next week's show we'll go over our scores.
get a Word document up so I can put these all down.
Okay, so go ahead and put these down. We're gonna do a league pick 'em for everybody. If you guys have picks that you would like to add, go ahead and put them in. Who do you think is gonna win on these games? It'd be fun to have a show wide, contestant wide league pick 'em every week. That'd be a lot of fun. So let's do it. Houston versus Pittsburgh. Who do you got?
Houston, Pittsburgh. I mean, when we look at this is a tough one because we look at
Right now, Houston is 0-2. Pittsburgh is 2-0.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking Pittsburgh, but Houston. I like Houston. I like Deshaun Watson a lot, man. But without DeAndre Hopkins, that offense just hasn't looked the same, and I don't think the defense is good enough to hold them up. So I'm going Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I wanna go against you really badly right now, but I feel like Pittsburgh has too much firepower at the moment on that offense, especially with Big Ben back. So I'm going Pittsburgh on that one as well. And then next one, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, both teams 0-2. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna pick Joe Burrow taking his first win.
Ooh, really?
I'm gonna take Joe Burrow taking his first win.
I'm
Just to be different. Because
Yeah.
I feel like most people are gonna say Eagles on this one.
I'm going to say Eagles, mostly because Carson
They
Wentz.
have not been looking good.
Yeah, they have not been looking good, but Miles Sanders, they didn't have week one. He played really well last week. I think Sanders keeps it up. Deshaun Jackson, they lost their young rookie to a broken thumb, but Deshaun Jackson's healthy. And Carson Wentz is better than how he's been playing. He really is. I think a quarterback.
I dropped him in my fantasy league.
I did too. But I think a quarterback of his skill level eventually figures it out. I don't know if he's like a top 10 quarterback, but he's not as bad as he thinks that.
I don't know. I just don't have faith in that guy anymore. So
I think they turn it around.
all right. You're picking Philadelphia. I'm picking Cincinnati. Now, next game we got San Francisco, New York Giants. I know both teams have some key injuries right now, but
this should be obvious.
it's obvious. I think everyone's gonna pick San Francisco. It's hard to see the Giants, winning much right now.
The Giants aren't a good team, and the Niners, even with their injuries, they lost two of their better defensive linemen to ACL injuries last week. But even with that, I think their defense is still better than most teams' defenses. Yeah. And with their head coach, Kyle Shanahan, Shanahan's such a good coach. His running backs always seem to be so good. So, yeah, I think it's easy. Giants aren't good.
Yeah, and they just lost Saquon Barkley for the season.
That definitely doesn't help at all.
For the season. So if you had Saquon, I recommend you should have done it by now. But I hope you found a running back. If not, I recommend you make some trades. You do something to fill that void. Your number one pick is now gone. So next game, this is your favorite, and I know you're gonna go Oakland. We got Las Vegas against New England, and I am taking.
I'm actually gonna blow your mind right now. You said I was gonna go Oakland. I'm not going Oakland. I'm going to the Vegas Raiders.
Okay, yes, you're going Las Vegas Raiders, and I will be selecting the New England Patriots. Super Cam to have a great game. I am predicting 2 touchdowns in the air or on the ground and 1 in the air.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he gets 2 passing touchdowns in the air.
Just for that, I'm predicting 4 passing touchdowns in the air and none on the ground.
I think it'll definitely be a shootout, though. I
don't think it's going to be a shootout, Brian, but it'll be a fun game to watch.
We know what the Patriots were going to do. They're going to take away Darren Waller. They're going to let Derek Carr beat them. They're going to make him beat them without his best receiver, which is Darren Waller. They're not going to be able to beat the Patriots like they beat the Saints last week by just pounding it to Waller.
Yeah, but the Patriots run D hasn't been the same. They've been good. They've been decent.
Well, no, and that's Josh Jacobs. I think this is going to be Josh Jacobs all day.
I was about to say, so let's see. I think it depends. Because if Josh Jacobs can start early, that's going to open up Waller the rest of the game.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be on because they ruled Henry Ruggs out, and even though Henry Ruggs hasn't been putting up the numbers, if you watch him play, the defenses have been having 2 guys on him all the time because they're scared of his speed. So without him, there's not going to be.
It's not just that. It's not just that because he goes deep. What happens is it spreads the defense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
When he's out there, the safeties and the other corners are running deep, and it spreads out the defense and creates more space for all the other route runners in the middle.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
So
going to be a lot on
Baker's
Nelson
back.
Aguilar and Zay Jones to step up this week for the Raiders. Zay Jones and Nelson Aguilar actually both had pretty big catches against the Saints last week. Aguilar had a pretty good catch and run, like 2 times, I think, and Zay Jones had a huge touchdown catch. So I'm going to expect more from them this week with Henry Ruggs being out.
Yeah. And next team, we got Tennessee and Minnesota. Tennessee 2-0, Minnesota 0-2.
I mean, this one's easy for me.
I'm taking the Titans on this one as well. I'm taking the Titans.
Minnesota has just looked awful. I mean, without Stephon Diggs, that offense has just not been the same.
Yep.
They really don't. It's crazy because he didn't put up the most numbers. I mean, they were running first team, but Stephon Diggs is talented, as we're seeing with the Bills, and they just without that attention outside, I think the Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings are struggling.
Agreed. Next game, we got Washington football team, Cleveland Browns. I'm going to take the Browns.
What's the records of these teams?
Both teams are 1-1.
Yeah, I think the Browns are the better team, so I'll go with the Browns too. Dwayne Haskins just still has a lot to go in my mind. I think Terry McLaurin is a really good talent. I think Antonio Gibson, their rookie running back, is really good as well. But I really think unless Haskins steps it up for them, it's going to be a rough year for the Washington football team.
Yeah, it's definitely a rebuild year on the field and in the office. So we'll see how it goes. We have next LA Rams and the Buffalo Bills. I am going to take Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen this week.
I was hoping you took the Rams because I really want to get some of our picks, more of our picks different because we're only 2 games we've said different. But I mean, Buffalo's looked legit, man. They've always had a good defense. I think they're the favorite to win that division. But I'm gonna take the Rams.
Okay, I like it. That's going to be a fun one to watch just because we're going to be going against each other. So, both teams are 2-0 right now. So this is going to be a fun one to tune into. Go ahead.
The Rams on offense they have a good offense, even without Cam Akers, their rookie running back, who's out. I mean, Darrell Henderson came back from injury and looked really good last week. And you can't deny the receivers they have. I mean, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. They have Van Jefferson, the rookie, who's made some good catches. And then their tight ends. Tyler Higbee has been huge for them. So I think this game will probably be a shootout. I mean, the Bills and Rams are both pass-happy offenses who like to get a lot of plays off. So I could see this potentially be a very high-scoring game.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Hope everyone gets to tune in. Coach Sergio, we already know, is voting for the Rams. And let's go to the next game. We got 3 more. We got Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. We all know what happened to Atlanta. Oh my goodness.
Tragic, dude. That was tragic. Why did they not jump on the ball in the offside?
I don't know. It was a brain lapse. It was complete brain lapse between the whole special team squad. But let's move on. Who's going to win this week? Chicago Bears, Atlanta Falcons. I am going to take Atlanta Falcons rebounding. I'm going to take an Atlanta Falcons rebound.
Are the Falcons 0-2?
They are.
And the Bears are what, 1-1? 2-0?
2-0.
2-0. See, that's crazy is I like Trubisky. I'm not a big Trubisky fan. But they've just been getting it done, man. That defense is solid, and David Montgomery has looked very impressive so far this season.
Well, maybe Trubisky's finally coming into his own.
No, because he still hasn't looked good, but he's looked just good enough where it's opened up the running game for Montgomery, and Montgomery's looked really good.
All I'm saying is there have been teams who won Super Bowls without great quarterbacks too.
Yeah, I agree, but they've had phenomenal defenses, and I don't think Chicago's defense is at the level. I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons getting their first win.
Okay, all right. And we got 1 more minute, so let's go through this quick. Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Chargers. You already know who I'm taking. Can't go against my boys. Carolina Panthers on my end.
I mean, like Justin Herbert came in last week against the Chiefs, which is a really good team. I mean, the Chiefs' defense is underrated.
Did you hear what happened to Tyrod? Oh my goodness. We will not continue on that one, but
Justin Herbert's looked so good, and the Chargers' best part of their game is their running game, and guess what the Panthers' worst part of their defense is? Their rush defense. So the Chargers, I think you see Joshua Kelly and Austin Eckler both have huge days.
Luke, come back. Come back, Luke. And moving on, we're almost there. So we got New York Jets and the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to take the Colts on this one.
Yeah, that's Colts all day. I mean, you know how big of an Adam Gase fan I am. So that's all I got to say.
All right. We got to keep moving because for some reason, I said 3 more games, but there was more than 3 more games. We have Dallas and Seattle coming up next. That's going to be a good game. I'm interested to see how that is. They're going to be playing in Seattle at the 12th man, and I'm going to choose Russell Wilson.
Oh, yeah, that's where I'm going. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, the Cowboys should not beat the Falcons, let's be honest. The Falcons should have won that game. They really just choked it. And I think
Agreed.
Seattle's a much better team than.
All right. Here's the one. Here's one. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Denver Broncos. Who do you got?
Ooh, the Broncos have a backup quarterback. Drew Lock is hurt. I'm going to go Tampa.
As much as I don't want to, I'm going to go Tampa Bay as well.
I agree.
And then we're going over to the next one, the Detroit Lions and the Arizona Cardinals. I think that one's kind of a given as well. But I'm going to be saying that DeAndre Hopkins probably has a big game against these guys. I'm going Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm going Cardinals too. I mean, I forgot what I was going to say. The NFC West is such a stacked division right now. The 4 teams are combined 7-1. Like, just think about that. That's insane. The only loss is when the Cardinals beat the Niners. So I think this Cardinals team's legit. I don't think Detroit's very good, so I agree.
Yep, I agree with that. And we have 2 more games, so let's go into Sunday night. Green Bay Packers against the New Orleans Saints. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is coming back to being the Aaron Rodgers of old. Devontae Adams, I'm hoping he's going to have a huge game if he plays. And I'm going with Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Packers too. Michael Thomas has already been announced as out, and that offense against the Raiders without Michael Thomas, other than Alvin Kamara, looked really bad. So I don't think they pull it off against the Packers.
And then Monday night, the matchup we've all been waiting for. The 2-0 Kansas City Chiefs against the 2-0 Baltimore Ravens.
This is a huge game, man.
Who do you have here?
Oh, I'm going the Ravens.
You're going to go Ravens. So, okay. I respect that. I was actually thinking maybe Ravens, but just for that, just so we could be different, I don't mind going Chiefs because this is going to be a shootout.
Yeah,
Talk about a shootout. If you have any of these defenses, do not start them this week.
It is a must-watch game, regardless. Like, even if you're not like a fan of football, like this is like we could see these teams play each other. Well, they can't play each other in the Super Bowl, but we could see this be the game to get to the Super Bowl very easily, the AFC Championship.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, these teams are both insane. I think the Ravens are explosive, and I'm not going to root for the Chiefs. So let's go Ravens.
Yeah, I can respect that. I can definitely respect that. All right, guys, that's about enough time for today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Please, if you'd like to participate and send your league pick'ems in, send it to us. We'll definitely add you onto the next week's show. We're going to recap to see who has the most amount of victories.
Yep. And remember, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we have live shows on this YouTube channel at 4 o'clock. Make sure you check them out and say hi to whatever coach is there that day. They'd very much so appreciate it. Other than that, have a great weekend.
This has been Sports Talk Live. I'm Coach Jacob. That's Coach Brian, and we're out.
Goodbye.